Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm Captain Doc Skinner on board the starship Pariah, and you're watching the Doc Force. It's a play on words. Anyway, tonight we got a really good show set up for you. We're going to do a real quick check. We're going to make sure that everything is running on ship, smooth and sailing. We've got live going on the Book of Face. And let's see. Yes, it says, are we streaming? I think we are on YouTube. Anyway, good evening. It's Tuesday, trash day. I forgot. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. Now that I got the cool pose out of the way to start off the show, I'm going to put on the dorky headphones. Oh, that sounds so much better. This is the magic mic, because when you get away, it just sounds awful, but then you get closer and you're just like, hey, how you doing? So in theory, this worked last night. But you know, being shadow banned, you don't get notified on things. But I did put a little shout out early on the Book of Face. I do it on TikTok. I'm not sure, but if you want to follow me on TikTok, you can do so below. I'm going to be looking down every now and then and checking on our guest. He was in the middle of doing something, so hopefully be here very soon. Brooks Agnew will be joining us this evening. I should be talking like this. How about right here? Is that better? You like that? Yes. Yeah. I love studio mics. They're just the bomb. So anyway, as I'm looking down, I'm just checking my phone, seeing if he's able to get into the studio or not. Weren't able to do a sound check, so it'll be fun. I want to talk about what everybody's talking about today, the whole thing with the oil. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. I'm not even in the comment section part. That's why I couldn't see anybody. Hello, Off-World Adam. Janice. Hello, dear. Paul Marsh, of course. My bro. Jim Forsyth. How are you, sir? And Kitsy Witty. Who is Brooks Agnew? Well, you will find out soon enough, as soon as we get him on the air. But he's a friend of mine. You've probably seen him on the science, the documentary shows like Ancient Aliens and stuff like that. He is putting together the North Pole Inner Earth expedition. It was supposed to take place last year, but well, we all know how that went with everybody. So it's been moved back. But he's an author, a wonderful, amazing, award-winning author. He's his trilogy Birth is going to be epic. I mean, it's already epic. It's a big seller, but I'm trying to work with him, I'm helping him. He wants to make it into either a movies or a series. So that is pretty exciting. I can't post any comments to some destinations. Learn more. Well, I can't do that right now. I need somebody to help. Okay. Janice, I need you to give me your email so I can send you an invite to help with that. Let's see. Got a kiss from Kitsy Witsy. Thank you very much. Ms. Skywalker. Well, hey there. What's up? What's up, Skywalker? Pretty cool name, man. Pretty cool name. Anything you're hearing, this ship makes all kinds of weird noises. So every now and then you'll hear engines turn on or things clanking. Gremlins. Howard Quinn's here. Hello, Howard. How are you? Let's see who else has joined. Now this is really cool because I can see who's in the chat in YouTube, Facebook as well. Now I am in the process, coming days or future. I'm gonna do an upgrade with this service so I can get, I think it's up to 10 platforms at once, and then they do all the heavy lifting. So I just sit here and look pretty, and it will get zapped out. So I've got to get some new accounts and get that ball rolling. Let's see. You wrote Rick Mackey. Is he in here? I didn't see him pop in. I think he might pop in. That was on Facebook. So, hey, if you guys could help, there's a couple ways because I'm doing this now professionally. This is going to be a job. So the plan is for anybody that's new has been watching the show. We're going to do an hour with my guests here on YouTube and Facebook, and then a secondary hour, unfiltered, little uncensored, over on my new Patreon page, which is scrolling at the bottom down there, as well as my TikTok. The TikTok will be segments of shows, highlights of shows, and it's to drive traffic. Because that's the way it is. Those that have been following me for the past 8 years, I just, I always had job. I always had a job. So there's always some kind of money coming in. Oops. Got a call real quick. Hold on 1 second. Hello. Hi, who's this? Oh, Rob. Hey, brother. I'm live on the air in the middle of a show. It's all right, but can you get back to me? I want to chat with you. Okay, like earlier in the day, okay? Because I start my show at the top of this 7:00 right now. So is that cool? Thank you, sir. All right, bye. All right, that's right. He's an amazing director that got a taste of Hollywood, and he's getting big. So I think maybe when I call him back, we will discuss maybe having him on the air. Because like I said, my show, The Dark Force, is truth, reality, conspiracies, the whole 9 yards. Let's just look at it all. Why just nitpick? Let's look at it all and see how it all connects. And a lot of it can get really intense. And I get that. I've done it for 30 years. So I know when to see the signs. It's time to reel it back in, or hey, time for some comic relief, or maybe a badass song or something. So that's the goal. And I've got people lined up, and it's not going to always be doom and gloom and let's talk policies and everybody's doing that. So let's discuss it. Show that we're mature individuals. We can discuss it, but you know what? It's a lot to take in, and we know when to decompress, so we can have some fun too. So if I'm laughing and because there's something crazy we're discussing, it's like I'm trying to comic relief, break it up for a minute so nobody's heads pop. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to wait a few more minutes and then check in on Brooks. So he's probably got a big call or something he's working on, because he's got some big things coming. So once we get in contact with him, then we'll have him on. But till then, let's keep going on. Let's see. Rick Mackey, I built a website and many other things. Howard Quinn says, "Oh, cool. I mean, I have a website, but it's not anything really." Eric says, "Hey, Doc, I sent you a message about pyramids. I got a photo of down in Antarctica. Brad Olson saw it and figured you may dig a chat on it." I was on with you before. Yes, I remember. From Alaska here. Glad you are going gangbusters. Yes, and you know what? You were like right before I did my hiatus, right? So we can do a like an update if you want. I'm down with that. So just remember though, I get videos and messages and documents and stuff all day long, and I can't read it all. That's just the God honest truth, because it's just physically impossible when you're trying to live life too at the same time, pay the bills. So yeah, so Paul says variety is always good. Yes, that's what I'm trying to bring. I'm trying to bring some variety. But yes, Eric, I'm down with that, and I don't want to get Brad back on. It's been at least 2 years since I think I've had him on, and we were working on. If you guys don't know, go to sci-spy.tv. Yes, sci-spy, SCISPI. I think it's been 2 years. But they, you pay a little subscription, and there is a 21, 22 episodes, I think. Maybe it's 18. I'm thinking 20. It's in that ballpark episodes. It was a while ago of when he went to Antarctica on a small boat and with some friends, and it was pretty awesome. And I got all the footage, so I put it, edited it all together. Remember, it was like home videos, but I put it together, cool music, and boom, wow. Um, Antarctica by Sail is the name of it, and it's pretty cool. They got some amazing stuff. Learn some things. So check it out. It's on sci-spy.tv. I mean, it may be somewhere else by now. That was 2 years ago. They may have. I don't know. You may be able to get it somewhere else or see it somewhere else. We have to ask Brad. That's a great question. I'll ask him when I get him on here. Denise is here. Hello, Denise. Good evening. Howard says, I can probably make it better. Anybody can make it better than what I did. That's not my forte. I won't brag and say, oh, I'm a great one. Nope. I'm not. I have talents and other things, and that's what I work on. So cool. We got some interaction here, and it's cool because it's multiple. I'm not sitting here looking at multiple screens trying to keep up with everybody in the chat. It's all one thing. It's awesome. So what should a whistleblower with photos do? Well, what I mean, dude, is like I get a lot of stuff, and it's stuff that has already been covered, but it's new to them, and that's cool because a lot of these people, they're new. They're you have to understand, when I've spent the past 30 years, like so many others, researching this stuff. We've had 30 years to, digest it and try to comprehend it all. And then you have today where there's this huge moment of everybody waking up, right? Everybody's woke and they're all starting to see stuff. And that's awesome. That's all of us that have been doing it for decades have wanted. It's just now seriously think this through. Now, before we had to do, it was slow research. Now everything's Google, DuckDuckGo, boom, 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 boom. You've got the information. And that can be a major, overpowering, that's the word I'm looking for. Too much, and people can. So, when you're studying, be careful of that. Take a breather, watch a funny movie. If you want action, sci-fi, whatever, something to escape it. Okay. And I know it's hard these days because most movies involve this kind of stuff. So it's like, what do I do? You just take a break and a breather. The sun will come up tomorrow. Seriously, it's not to be funny. That's for real. It will come up tomorrow. Everything will be okay. And we're going to have to get through this. We will not have a choice. So, all right, I'm going to message Brooks real quick. You okay? Whenever you're ready. Sorry, folks. I know this is faux pas. Okay. All right. Let's see. And so anyway, people get on overload. So it's a double-bladed sword. It's good, and I am ecstatic that people are finally waking up. And there's like inside your head, you're screaming, "I told you," but it's happening. So that's good. That's very, very good. But at the same time, we have to be careful as the people that are new to this, as you digest this stuff. Don't go like 24 hours on YouTube and stuff like that. Take breathers, clean the palate. Okay. So that's why my show, we're going to do, I'm not serious. I mean, I'm serious 98% of the time, but I do it with humor sometimes. I woke up as gas prices are now $5.69 a gallon. LOL. Kitsy, I hear you. That happened actually to a lot of people just in the past 12 hours across the globe. I mean, well, maybe not everywhere. Saudi Arabia, they're good. They got plenty. But, here in the States, we'll just keep it there. It's affecting them. But here's the thing. I saw this somewhere. I don't know what network it was on, but someone made a really good point. God, I was hoping I could save this for when he's here. Maybe I should do that. I'll just wait, or he can come in on it.
Okay. Wait, did I send that? Wait, did I? Yeah, I did. Okay. We're gonna keep waiting. I don't know, but it'll be here. All right. Connie Combs says hello. Hello, Connie. Welcome. Janice says, yep, I've done that before over and over and over. Yeah. But yeah, the gas is what I wanted to talk about tonight. Okay. You hear the blurbs on the news, those that watch that stuff. And it's people aren't thinking it through. I mean, yes, it's bad. $65 million. Well, we're about to go to war. I get it. But we shouldn't have been in this position in the first place. We should be self-reliant. America's supposed to be the most powerful, greatest country, and I believe it is. But I think it gets puffed up a little more than it is, and we should have our own. I mean, we've got various versions. Hold on, Eric. Yeah, no, I'm interested in Antarctica, but dude, that's not the topic I was covering for tonight. We'll cover that. We'll have you on. No worries. It's $4 a gallon in Kentucky. Golly. Let's see, because Antarctica is just fascinating me. And here's the funny thing, Eric. I mean, I know you got to be there. I almost went, and not as a scientist or a researcher or anything like that. I was going to be like a DJ or entertainer in the bar, kind of a morale booster. And they were going to hire me through Raytheon and whatnot. But then I watched some videos on how cold it really is down there. I'm like, damn, I don't know if I want to do, a season down there, but I might go visit if I was allowed to. But yeah, no, Eric, it's fascinating. The pyramids, especially the pyramids. And what, where all those dignitaries being sent, from around the world. That was some crazy stuff. Let's see. Oh, Paul says when your eyes get opened, it changes. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm forgetting to do this. Here we go. Paul says when your eyes get opened, it changes everything. That's so true. I'm sorry, folks. I'm trying to get everybody on here every now and then. Jenny says, yep, over that. Okay. Hi, Doc. Almost over $4 in Kansas, but I hear it's going up again soon. Yeah, where I'm at, they're saying today it was like 3-something, 390 maybe yesterday, and then today it was 419. And they're saying by the end of the week $6. So fill those tanks up, people. All right, let's see here. Okay. So yeah. All right. Okay. Let's see here. That's not the message I was looking for. Okay. Well, he says he's doing something. He's in the middle of something. So I don't want to interrupt him because he's always doing important stuff. I'm just checking. Maybe he, no. So, well, let's see. Captions are being generated. Oh, I wonder if that's accurate when it's capturing. You guys are getting the subtitles. That's cool on YouTube or Facebook. Okay. Well, we will just keep moving along until he pops in. All right. So I'm going to go over here. Single. Let's see. So anyway, the Doc Force. There you go. Because if you say it with like an accent from the East Coast, it sounds like you're talking about the Doc Force. Slides right by. People don't even realize. So, any fun artists out there that, maybe want to draw something up, that'd be cool. Do you think that they raise the fuel prices to fund the wars and other Black Op programs? Well, um, that's I don't know, because they've got their own budget, Black Ops budgets. It's obscene. I mean, they're obscene. So, well, that's not true. I mean, there's small groups and they're doing a simple little thing. That's not so much. But I'm just saying they have the money to do things. They've got to get the approval from the senator, or their representative or whoever it is. Paul says Brooks is worth the wait. Yes, he is. All right. So anyway, we were talking about too much information and why I'm going to kind of make it a little bit of a variety show where it's every now and then we have to crack jokes. We just got to do that. Just got to crack jokes. So, all right. And if for any reason he can't make it, then the show must go on, at least for the hour. Now this is the game plan. All right. The game plan is I do the shows here. I'm going to do my best to be Monday through Friday. Sometimes life gets in the way and I don't have a backup person. So, I'll do my best. Not all shows will be live. They'll be premiering like as if it was live, but I want to do some special episodes where I have really good graphics. I can have edits and all that, kind of upgrade. And so then I have, so anyway, we'll do the shows here for 1 hour. And then, when I have my guests, to get the more juicy stuff that we can't say on these platforms, we're going to do over on Patreon. And then, that kind of helps me stay afloat so I can keep this ship running. Anywho, let's see what else. Guess we can all get electric cars or bicycles. I'm not against that at all. But there's nothing wrong with that, having a car. Electric car, yeah. I mean, they have electric dirt bikes. Did you know that? I always thought that'd be kind of cool to have one of those off the back of my vehicle. So let's see. Kim says, hi guys. And then Brooks is worth the wait. Okay. So it's kind of come to a standstill in the chat room, but that's all right. All right. So let's talk about it. So the gas price thing, right? We are literally a part of probably one of the biggest chess games in a long time. And Putin likes to play chess. Now, and God, I have to choose my words carefully because it's kind of stuff I'd have to say for the other page of Patreon. And if you guys want to go there, there's there's tiers to subscribe. And I think if you do a year, you get a discount. I think I haven't had anybody on there. I just finished it today. It's not really like finished. It's going to constantly grow, but anywho, with that will help me get a better camera for documentary stuff. Like when I'm working with Third Phase of Moon, I'm not using the little tiny like GoPro style stuff and then having to do it all in post. I mean, being able to have that nice zoom where you see right here, everything's in focus, but sometimes you want where it's just the subject that's in focus. Everything else is like blurred, and you can do that in Photoshop and all. I get that, but it's better for I want to shoot my movie or another anything. Because I'll show you what I'm using right now because I got two of them. This is it right here. This is just the obese bot, and it's got AI technology in it, so it will follow you around and stuff. It's pretty good. I like it. But when I'm going out, I can't take this with me. So that's going to be that's going to be a few bucks. So, but anything I get is going to help keep this ship afloat and allow me to not stress about other stuff, so I can focus on content and research and amazing guests, specials. Because I've got some. Oh, do I have some treats for you guys? I know I've been gone for about 9 months, 6 months, 9 months, something like that. But yes, you want to hang out and be around and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hit that like button. And I've got to start saying that every show. Doesn't that suck? I mean, don't you think you guys would know? But nope. In today's world, you got to just remind everybody every day what to do. I see the ticker now. Oh, you see the ticker at the bottom. It says, follow me on TikTok at Doc Skinner Official, all one word. And then on YouTube, if you're not watching it already, is 1028 Productions. And then my Patreon page is patreon.com/Doc Skinner, DOCSKINNER. So, yeah. Okay. And if for any reason, like if he's stuck on a very important call or something and it takes up before, we finish the show, I will have him back. No questions asked. You can guarantee that I'll have him back on. And then let's see, today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's trash day today. Did I do it? No, I forgot. Going to the dome. Anyway, so I've got Christopher LaPrath and I've got Jim Goodall, and I'm going to see if I can get them on this week. If not, hopefully next week. And then the list just keeps going and going. And if you guys have any suggestions, thought I saw something light up here. If you have any suggestions, then please suggest. Another one who I'd love to have back on, who's doing really well now. That's what I love about my friends. I'm their friends in the beginning, and then I get to see them grow and prosper and be successful. And one of them is Michael Loftus. He's an amazing comedian, comic writer. And if you don't know, oh man, he's awesome. I adore the guy. I'm not going to do all the name dropping that he works with, but he can do that. Let's see. Yep. So I think it's okay. We've got another 30 minutes, and he may come in for like a few minutes, and then we'll just continue it another day. But my apologies to everybody that might have been. So, I mean, like I said, we still have an opportunity for him to pop in at any moment. I did give him the link. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Let me just. I mean, I did it too. Yeah. Okay. All right. So actually, Brooks was the last guest I had before I took the hiatus. So, kind of a nice bookend. Beckett's here. Hi, Beckett. How are you? She has cool hair and dreads. Let's see. Kim Moore says, I see the ticker now. So yeah, that's the ticker. And there's a bunch of other little tricks on here I haven't really played with yet. But it'll get better, and I'll get some intro music, and that's about it. I can't afford a band, so yeah, yet. So anyway, I'll be broadcasting from here on board my ship, the Starship Pariah. You can Google that word. Means outcast, and that's me. So yeah. Anyway. The only thing, it says I got 11 people here, 12 hearts. Oh, yes. And that's a big thing, folks. I know it sounds trivial, but by hitting likes and hearts and all that, it triggers the algorithms just right. A lot of stuff I'll post, you might be like, oh, that sucks. But did you know when you put the angry face in, and if enough people put an angry face, they'll think that's bad, and they'll take that post down. Yeah, did you know? So FYI, all that little stuff helps. Now, like on TikTok, where they're doing the roses and all the little gifts and stuff, I don't know how that works other than it just takes your money. I don't see how you get it back. But maybe it goes to the creators, the content creators. I'm down with that. So anyway, so this is my ship, and this is one of the rooms on board my very large ship. I have I have a gaming area, a lounge area. I've got the bridge. I've got scenic views. I got. So depending on how I'm feeling that night, I will be broadcasting, because I have the communication ability to broadcast from anywhere on board this ship. So, so it's not stagnant. So there we go. All right. 13 people. Let's get 14 people. Share. Came out of nowhere, but that's what I do. Come out of nowhere, because I'm the Dark Force. Yes, you're watching the Dark Force with me, Doc Skinner. And anytime you guys share. Tina's here. Hi, Tina. How are you? She gave me some hearts. Thank you so much. Let's see. Well, here's a message. Nope, it's not him. Okay. All right. So anyway, we're going to be talking about, with Christopher LaPrath, we're going to be talking about the other side. Yes. And what's so cool is a lot of these people I've had on my shows, and that's kind of, I'm straightforward with you guys all the time. That's an easy way to transition into a new show after being in hiatus. You get the ones you love that, are always great on the air with you. And they're all my friends. So I adore them. And Christopher, I just love the man. He's just amazing. Christopher LaPrath, seer of the unseen is how he defines himself. Seer of the unseen. And he's got a lot to talk about. See, you hear that's the engines, and that was those are oxygen release valves. It's more like carbon dioxide release valves, or no, that'd be bad. It's some kind of gas comes out of the tubes. It goes see, so it's just a pressure release. So you'll hear that every now and then on board the ship. Now did I get another text? No. Now everybody that's texting me, I'll have to look all this stuff later, because I don't want to be that. There's always that dude in the room. You're like trying to talk to him, and he's like, huh? Nope. Okay, so I don't want to be that guy. But I will check everything after the show. Promise. Now tonight, I may. We're gonna see in the next how this all works in the next 25 minutes. If would any of you be? I mean, I'm not gonna call you guys out, but if any of you are willing to be a subscriber to my Patreon page, there's tiers and there's cool stuff. I think there's 4. I have 4 tiers, because they say it's better if you give up tiers anyway. So like the first one is, just to come and peekaboo in and curiosity. And that's like $5 a month. And it's, go to it, patreon.com, Doc Skinner, check it out. And if you like what I do and you want to help me continue doing this and not disappear again, then please help me, send me your money. No. Yeah, that's basically it. God, I hate it. See, there was always bosses. There was always somebody that could pay you. So you didn't have to, when I'm on stage and I'm doing my thing, or I'm DJing, or I'm in I'm not sitting there going to the audience going, give me your money. No, I got a boss. He gives me a check. We're all good. Not anymore. Everybody works for themselves. Everybody's working from their own little spacecrafts. And it's, uno y mano, or mano y menudo. I don't know. But this is the world we live in now. I mean, look how things are just changing drastically. So If you do the 5, cool. If you want to go up, it goes up to the 4th one where you can be a show sponsor. And I only have 5 of those available. Okay. And I think if you do the yearly subscription, you get a discount. I think. I don't know. I haven't done it yet, but I saw it on some other sites that I was researching. So I know it's feasible. I got to figure that out. And then the second tier, you get a special gift every 3 months, so 4 gifts a year. And then the others, well, no, I don't want to tell you. You got to go do the legwork. Go to the page, and then if you can, God bless you. And I will be over there. Either I'll be uploading videos, or doing lives where a little more no holds barred, where I'm not biting my tongue as much. It will be for adults, not for kids. I will be cursing probably because I will, taking the leash off. So, and that's the same for my guests. So we'll do an hour here, kind of like the wholesome family conspiracy, UFO, weirdness realm, the weirdness realm. I should call it that, the weirdness realm. That sounds really good. Damn. Okay. I gotta tighten those pipes. All right. So, let's see. Yep, I got it, brother. The struggle's real. Yes, it is, Tina. Becca says she's interested in my Patreon page. Well, I don't know who's going to be the first person to be a Patreon member of my page. Who's it going to be? Now, my mom doesn't count. She hasn't yet, so you can still beat her. Don't tell her I said that though. But there is, like I said, there's some good gifts, and once I get it going and get a flow going, I want to make sure if you're supporting me, I'm giving you that little extra special something, something. So yeah, there we go. We're coming up 20 minutes to the top of the hour here on Starship Pariah with your host, Doc Skinner, also known as the Doc Force. Oh, this might work. This might stick. It sounded fun, hokey at first, like play on words, but it could work. I could do some cool promos with this. Yes. Wah. Now time for the nectars of the gods. Connie says she loves it. That's good. Tina's laughing her ass off. That's badass because I'm doing something decent. That's right. See what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna be goofy. I'm gonna be like total Robin Williams Aladdin right out the it's just gonna be crazy. And who knows? Yeah. All right. No, not the Dark Force. The Dark Force. But if you do it with it like a New York accent, it sounds like the Dark Force. The other, the other one I thought, but then it'd be just really kind of surrounding like the prison stuff, idea of prison. And the one thing I can say is I've been in movies, I've done TV, film, all that stuff, right? Big deal. But I am in probably more movies that I'm not physically in than anybody else, because every movie with a prison scene, you see the outfit and it says on the back DOC for Department of Corrections. So I thought, director of corrections, and it just sounded dumb, so I didn't go with that. Anyway, the Dark Force, and you could draw it out like this, and it still sounds like you're saying dark, but you're saying dark. See, you can hear the difference, right? Dark. See? Huge difference. Huge. Anyway, all right, so people are giggling, and that is good. I got 13 people watching me right now, 40 minutes into the show, and 13 hearts. I am just so loved. And I'm not scared of that number, by the way, because you put them together, it means 4. So anyway, we're just gonna say that we're gonna bring him back. We're gonna bring Brooks back another night, And or maybe, I mean, if he's isn't doing a show, is he? No, 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 because he called me. He was like, "Hey, can I co-pilot tonight?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, you can." So let's just pray and hope that everything is good to go with our friend Brooks Agnew. So we'll check on that later and let me know what's going on. Oh my God, Tina's flirting with me. She says I'm absolutely adorable. Thank you. My mama says so too. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. That was sweet of you. I appreciate that, Tina. Anyway, so yeah, let me look. Where's my list? Oh my God, my list. I don't have my list. Oh, mercy me. Where's my list? I have to do it from memory. I guess I could do it, but I'm going to work on getting Laura Eisenhower. You know who she is. She's just awesome. And then Mike Barra, and Jim Goodall, guarantee. Man worked on SR-71. Best friends with Bob Lazar, my buddy. He'll be here. And then, John D'Souza. He was the inspiration for the X-Files. Mm-hmm. And let's see who else. Of course, Brooks. And many, 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 many more. Many, many more. You have a couple of musical guests. David Garcia, who's was in the band Bridge to Grace. So if you YouTube that, he's the bald guy singing. Oh, damn, he's awesome. And well, he's not with the band anymore. He's doing like his own thing, and he's doing awesome. And his new song, it's a what do you call the cover of Bryan Adams' Heaven. And you can go listen to it on iTunes right now because it's #1, or it was a couple days ago at least, but it still could be. So check it out. Help a brother out. So I'll try to get him on because he's actually want him, singing on my soundtrack for my film that I'm working on. So, yeah, that's another thing. Money that comes in, priority is, and think of this. I will be more transparent than our government. What's going on with the money that you guys help with? All right. I actually wrote it down. Like, I have to use this program to stream on multiple platforms. I'm doing annuals. I'm trying to pay everything with annual fees so that I don't have to stress every month over it and always go, oh, I need your money. So we'll do like a 24-hour marathon or something, or telethon. And we'll do stupid human tricks, and I'll bring people in from all over the world. And oh my God, you guys ever realize when I'm just kind of rolling off the tongue with shit, and then I'm realizing when I'm saying it, damn, yeah, that should happen. This is one of those moments. I think that'd be good. So we've come up with some cool stuff in the past couple nights. One, a vacation with all of you. Yes, but like something really, really fun, but something that's really like ooh kind of thing. And a lot of it's going to be stuff that millions of other people have already done, like maybe going to Machu Picchu or the pyramids in Egypt, or I don't know, where are we allowed to go right now? Like I want to go to Scotland and check out, Roslyn's Chapel and a few other things, Loch Ness, just fun shit to do. And I went to Spain. I was the last plane out of Spain to New York before Spain was locked down from the the big lockdown. Almost didn't make it back, and I was by myself. I went overseas, didn't speak Spanish, didn't have much money. I was there to recruit people for my film, and I did it all by myself. It was very like into the wild kind of, but in another kind of country. That was a bad reference because he was out in the woods. Okay, scratch all that. Anyway, I'd rather go with people, like a large group of people, and take our time, not be on a tight schedule, maybe do 2 or 3 things a day, nicely spread out meals. And then we can have our own, private time. You can go off with your, whoever, or just go on your own. And we just have meetup points. Just really chill. But I don't know. Where would we want to go? Because it would be cool if it was an educational thing too. Maybe we could have one of our guests that I have on the show come with, and they could be the tour guide and whatnot. So that's kind of where my head is on that idea, because I think we all need a vacation. We all need to we need to freely travel is what we need. And I know some of you are like, you not know, Doc, we're in the middle of a war. Yeah, I know. But with all this shit going on, folks, just remember, don't lose your head over it. Yeah, it may get really bad, but you gotta hold on to hope. Hope that you and your family and everybody you love and care will survive, and we will continue to grow. If not, then what's the point, right? That's how I see it, and I have this feeling like I'm gonna be a very, very old man. Even though there's a lot of times where I'm like, I'm gonna die tonight. But yeah, I feel like I'm here to either see, witness, or participate in something that's going to be big, because a lot of us choose, if not all of us, we choose what we want, in our lives when we come to this earth. And everybody that's alive right now, I think we all knew what was coming, and we were like, well, we want to be a part of this. Maybe that's why it's a little overcrowded. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Scotland, let's go. Everybody's getting excited. I think it'd be fun because individually it's going to be expensive. But I think if we could get like a group rate or charter a plane, something to that effect. I just don't want us to have to be quarantined somewhere for 2 weeks. I just think that's bullshit. My opinion, sorry. My ship, my say, my rules. But we'll have to narrow it down to somewhere where we're not going to get a lot of hassle, but we can go somewhere really badass and that has some really cosmic meaning to it. UFOs, stargates, whatever, crop circles, I don't care. Just something fun. Maybe Easter Island. I mean, that's not a place that's going to be really, really crowded, right? Does anybody even live on there? Or is it just boat rides? I don't know. Look that up. That might be fun. Get some science gear out there. God, that could be a lot of fun. See? This is how shit happens with me. So, anywho, all right, where are we at? Right here all the time. We got about 10 minutes here now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a 10-minute break after the show's over, 10-15 minutes. So everybody can in the bathroom, smoke break, whatever they need. I can go work on these leaky pipes on the ship. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to do an hour for the very first time. Hopefully it works. On Patreon. And I don't know if there's a chat room in there yet. So I haven't got to do it. I mean, I just signed up this afternoon. I haven't had time to play with anything, but I'm gonna make an attempt. And if you want to come in there, subscribe, and then you come in, and it'll be more intimate, more one-on-one kind of thing. And oh God, what the heck? Fucking pipes. It's an old ship. Anyway, Sedona. Okay. All right. Sedona. Now that I can get behind. Okay. And I have the perfect person for the tour guide. Actually works the tour company. So we can do that. And because it's, here in the States, getting in and out of the country, I don't know how that is right now. And I don't know how it's going to get. Sedona would be a lot, that's inside the United States. So let's put that on there. I think maybe something like Pikachu or Pikachu. You know what I'm talking about. I think something like that. That is where we would need enough people we could charter a flight. I think that would be a lot cheaper. And a lot more fun because you don't have any other people on the plane. So it's a party. But Sedona, I think maybe we could do Sedona for the first gathering, basically. Now it's not going to be a disclosure con. There's not going to be a bunch of vendors and stuff. I mean, if you want to come out and pawn your stuff on people, hey, you like, hey, that's cool. I mean, I'm not going to throw a fit over it. I mean, we all got to make a buck, right? As long as everybody's cool with each other. But in Sedona, I don't think anybody can really get mad at anybody because of the vortexes and stuff. So I think, and I have never gone. I mean, I've been to Sedona multiple times, but I've never. Well, actually, that's not true. When I was a kid, we did go hiking somewhere in Sedona, but I don't know where. But I would like to go on a hike where maybe we see petroglyphs or gateways carved in the wall, the mountains, anything fun. And I know just a person that can help us find do that. So let's do this once a year. Oh, so I'm not putting these up here. I'm sorry. Connie says so. Then do it once a year. Okay, I think this is a good idea, and I think it'll bring us all together. We'll have a tighter unit, you might say, because we'll be able physical contact and from this is just a whole nother thing. And I approve. So yeah, let's do that. Let's put Sedona on the list. If anybody has any other suggestions, Sedona is rather expensive. Unless we all do like a campsite up, somewhere. Maybe we could do that. Maybe we could do it like in the summer. Well, snakes. I'll work this out. So Sedona, there's a suggestion. I like that. If anybody has any other suggestions, maybe somewhere else. I don't know. Yes, camping is perfect. Yeah, no, I'm always down for Doc Skinner and family. Oh, I like how that sounded. That sounded cool. Okay. All right. Still, must be a big call. Now my mom's blowing up my phone. For those that have never been to Rock Art Ranch, it would be an incredible experience. Okay, Rock Art Ranch. Oh, you know what I really would like to do? It's like 5 hours from where I'm at. I'm sure some of you it'd probably be shorter, longer, but yeah, that would have to be like a special trip where I'd have enough where I could like pay for everybody or get like a big group discount or something, bring so many people. And it's in Santa Fe. So I might save that for like the next one if I'm I'm doing decent. So all right, Lindsay Lou is here. Hello. Got a heart. Someone wants on my Christmas list. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited, everybody. This is a good year, and I would laugh if this was the same person that I'm thinking, and it could be. It's hard to tell, but I had somebody that told me about we have these 9-year cycles, right? And it's basically a roller coaster, and when people get together and couples and whatnot, marriages, sometimes that it seemed really good because you're both you're both in an uphill together and you're doing really great and you're happy and you see each other and you're la, 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 la. But then this person, even though you guys came across it's the same, or you're at an elevation as it's two different tracks and they're further ahead of you or further behind you. So like when someone is in the relationship is doing really, really well and the other one's struggling, that's what I mean is, someone passed each other and you're not in sync. So when people start a 9-year cycle together, it's it's like a wonderful relationship because you're going through the ups and downs together. Um, and you're able to relate with each other. And so when I was told that, I was just like, wow. And they told me how going back 9 by 9 years, what this happened then. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. And then I presented to my mom. She's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And she was going back with, her life. And so this is the first year of my 9-year cycle, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, and I think it's because I have all of you to thank and to be here and us coming together. I'm just really stoked. I'm really stoked. So anywho, where are we? I'm trying to be professional here. So what we're gonna do is we got about 3 minutes. I just want to say I appreciate everybody coming on board. I'm sorry that we didn't have Brooks on. I'm gonna give him a call right after this, just make sure everything's okay, and hopefully everything is. He's just busy, and we'll have him back on, guarantee. So anyway, Jim just joined. Oh, did you just join my Patreon? Oh, Jim, awesome! Thank you so much. Let's see. Tina says Cape Hatteras. Cape Hatteras, I think he said. North Carolina is nice too. Beautiful there. And North and South Carolina coast are hotbeds for activities in the coastal skies. Yes, it is. Audrey's here. She says, hey, Doc, I'm at work. Can't stay. Big hugs. That's okay. I'm about to jump off and go over to my Patreon page for my Patreon members and just chit chat for a little bit. And so thank you, Audrey. Appreciate you jumping in. So yeah, we're going to wrap this up because we're at 2 minutes till. And I'm going to try to anyway, we'll talk about it later. Hold on. So thank you very much for everybody that was part of tonight's show. I do truly appreciate you guys. And tomorrow night, like I said, I told you who I'm trying to get on this week. So it'll be one of them, hopefully. If not, then okay, we'll keep going. But remember, even though we're dealing with a bunch of crazy shit right now, okay, as long as we continue to lift each other up, then we will all rise together. I'm Captain Doc Skinner on board the Starship Pariah on the show, The Dog Boss. Unless you go to the Patreon, till tomorrow, I'll see you all later. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Oh, wait. Oh, this is happening. Okay.
So I said, well, I'll hang up and try again.
Oh, no. I'm right here. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I was sitting in the room for 10 minutes and you didn't show up. So I hung up and tried again.
Oh, shoot. I thought I've been looking at my phone. All right. Well, then this is an extended episode. I thought you were just on a really important phone call and I didn't want to,
No, I was sitting in the studio right next to you.
Are you serious? Because I looked and there was nobody there.
Yeah,
it was just me.
You weren't there. So then somebody texted me and said, hey, you missed Doc. And I said, no, I'm sitting here since 9:50.
Well, I didn't get any messages. I kept looking at my phone. Well, I'm sorry. Well, here we go. You ready?
Yes. Born ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we're getting the extended version of tonight's show.
Over?
Yes. Oh, there you go. You good?
Yeah.
All right. So, talk about by the hair of your chinny chin. I'm seriously, I kept looking down and I did not see, but you're here now. So that's what's awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my dear friend, Brooks Agnew. Right here. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. So we were talking about gas and other stuff, but gas was what I really wanted to talk about, or because it's on everybody's mind right now. Everybody's freaking out. Everybody's sending me their photos of.
Yeah, everybody's been fed a lot of fake news on this. I can set everyone straight.
Do it.
Okay, so Jen Psaki is out there telling everybody, what are you talking about? We have 9,000 oil leases. Why don't they just drill on those? Yeah, she forgot to mention that when Donald Trump was president, there were 25,000 oil leases, and we had about 75,000 permits, which means And of course, not all leases are productive. They can drill a lot of dry holes. Usually 9 out of 10 of them are dry. But when you have a permit, it means that you've drilled a hole, you've set a pump, you've got a tank going. A lot of those wells were shut down. And the reason they were shut down is because, well, you remember when Biden shut down the Keystone pipeline?
Yeah.
What he did is he pulled the permit on the pipeline. Now, 7 states have sued, and of course, the federal government is doing a lot of sidestepping in court to try to keep this from coming to court, because if it does, they're going to lose for breach of contract.
Mm-hmm.
But the contractor, the guy that's actually in charge of laying the pipe, he's woke. So he doesn't care whether he lays pipe or not. He makes the same amount of money. The government is paying him not to lay pipe. So he makes the same money either way. Once that permit was pulled, all the subsequent permits for all the leases, about 16,000 of them, were reneged. So what happened was the oil companies that had been faithfully buying drill rigs and pipe and pumps and packers and all this stuff, they got stuck with the bill and they can't pay it. So they're going bankrupt right and left. It's the same thing that happened when Barack Obama shut down all the drilling in the Gulf region because of the BP oil spill.
Yeah.
Where do you think all those oil workers went? They went to
Right.
Brazil. They were going to hang around and wait and not have a job. So they went to Brazil and started drilling wells.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. So oil production in the United States is down about 40%. That's why we're having to import so much oil. We were at the point where we could export oil and we could export compressed natural gas and actually make money. We could actually have bailed out Europe, and they would not have been held hostage to the Nord Stream and the Nord Stream 2 pipelines. But you see, that's not the plan. The plan is to break America. That's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
So on Friday during the Olympics, when Putin flew to China to meet with President Xi, they had to meet face to face. They weren't discussing this over the phone or through email. The plan was, and I quote, this is the statement that they made, they want to redistribute global power. Translation, break America. So who got the orders? Biden got the orders. Biden got the orders. They wrote his speeches, and he got up and did his very best at reading them. And what that basically said was, we're going to buy oil from Russia and China and Iran, and we're going to buy batteries and solar panels from China, and we're going to shut down the oil production in the United States. And that's exactly what he did. And that's why gas is $7 a gallon in California. It's about $4.55 a gallon here in North Carolina for premium. I don't burn premium. I burn the cheap stuff, but it's still almost $4 a gallon. I haven't seen it here since Obama was president.
Yeah, it was $4.19 a day, and it was $100 for me to fill my tank.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's just bad. But it's probably, I mean, go on.
Well, see, that's a tax. That is a tax on none other than the middle class. Because the poor, they don't drive anywhere anyway. The wealthy, they don't care. They can afford whatever it is. It's the middle class that's hurt. When you take a middle class person and you take him from a $37 fill up to a $100 fill up, that is a direct hit on his paycheck. He cannot afford, the middle class person cannot afford an extra $300 a month in gasoline. That's all his disposable money for the whole month.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the plan. That's why they did it. Of course, now what's going to happen is the banks will begin collapsing because they're getting hit with all this debt that can't be paid because companies are out of business. They're not making any revenue.
Right.
And when that happens, the dollar, the goal is to de-dollarize the reserve currency. Once that happens, one of two things has to happen. Either a new currency has to be put in place as the reserve currency, or there's no reserve currency, in which case it's a free-for-all. Everybody's trading for whatever they want, and the structure of the world goes away. And You're going to have one global power, i.e. the World Economic Forum, come in as the savior and say, here we are to save the day. We have this new digital currency. All you have to do is sign up. Boom. Of course, you won't own anything, but you'll be happy. And that's how they're going to do it.
Yeah. Wow.
It could be stopped. It could be stopped. All that has to happen is either Putin put his ruble on the gold standard,
which I heard he did the other day or yesterday.
It is quite possible. In fact, he's
the
in a
gold
position
standard.
now. He can say nobody's buying our oil, but what they don't pay with rubles. And if he does that, that little 8.6 cent ruble is going to go up to about $2. And everybody holding on to rubles is going to be rich, which means Russians.
Wow. There's just so many layers to it. It's just a big onion.
That's just the economic part of the war.
Yeah.
The information part of the war has been the most frustrating for me for the last 2 months. Do you remember when she met with Putin? That was Friday during the Olympics, right? Monday, 2.5 days later, little old Jake Sullivan comes out and says, I have it on good authority that Putin is going to invade Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
And the reporter who was there, taking the statement, because Jake Sullivan was making this press release, he said, what do you mean Putin's going to invade Ukraine? Where's your evidence? And Jake said, well, I'm giving it to you right now. And the reporter said, okay, so let's have the evidence. And Jake Sullivan said, well, I'm telling you that Putin is going to invade Ukraine. And the reporter said, just you telling me that's not evidence. That's not the intelligence. I want to know basically where's the sauce. There wasn't any. There wasn't any. This was all straight from that meeting.
Wow. Well, it's like everything we've tried to warn people about over the years.
Yeah.
But it's happening even faster than we expected, or at least me. I mean,
it's kind of like a rubber band. I mean, we started in 2018, the year of awakening. Remember you asking me that?
Yeah.
And then 2019 was sort of like the day before the Roaring 20s. We were getting ready for the Roaring 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2020 came, and it was the Great Resignation. I mean, everything collapsed because
everybody was quitting all the CEOs were leaving their jobs.
The Great Resignation. Then 2021 came along, and I think it's the year of the jab. There's no question about it was the year of the jab.
Yeah.
But 2022, I believe, is the year of the revival. And it's something they can't stop.
Yeah.
They can't stop it. They're trying. You remember when the evidence started coming out about the 2020 election and how there was this fraud and that fraud and drop boxes and harvesters. And it was just like, wait a minute. There's too much evidence. It was like watching a fireworks show that starts with the finale. And you're like, all of a sudden just burned out.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Well, that's what's happening with the war in Ukraine. We are being bombarded. And you're pretty good at picking this out too. We are being bombarded with so much blatantly fake news.
Right.
That people are believing it.
I posted the video of the guy reporting, and he has all the body bags of people behind him. And there's one dude and he's like trying to pull the thing back over his head, and the camera guy's going right by him because it's like they are so sloppy. There's no sneakiness anymore. It's just blatant sloppiness.
Well, how about the press sitting there with their helmet on that says press on it and their flak jacket, and they got their collar turned up like this, and they got their microphone, and they're reporting with a worried look on their face, and right behind them people are standing in line to get into a movie.
Yeah.
On the sidewalk, standing around like what is wrong with this picture? Can't you move over a little bit where at least it looks plausible?
Yeah.
And then the one with what is it? Oh, it's the Ghost of Kiev.
Is that's the pilot guy, right?
That's the pilot that shot down like 7 Russians. Doesn't exist. Never existed. Do you know the Ghost of Kiev has his own Wikipedia page?
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy how they did this. and all the videos of bombs going off and people running, and I saw one of a traffic jam, people trying to get out of Kiev. It was from the stupid
From the
movie
movie.
Impact.
Yeah.
I
It was
mean,
exact. I mean, same people, same cars, same positions. It was just they just tinted it a little bit, make it look a little grainier.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then and it's just, we've been in
Video
the,
game clips.
yes, that's the craziest thing is some of those dogfight scenes were from video games. And
Go
the
figure.
news is playing this as if it's real.
Now, I happen to have a source on the ground in Donbass. He lives there. He's been there for 8 years, been fighting on the ground. And he sent me a couple of videos that explain what's going on.
Mhm.
And I look with my own analysis too to see what's going on. And he's correct. What is going on is exactly what Putin says is going on. He is fighting Nazis inside Ukraine. They have been building up since 2014 when Johns McCain and Kerry smashed Kiev and threw Viktor Yanukovych out of office
Mhm.
and put their own puppet in there in order to protect their money laundering operations, which were enormous, would absolutely boggle your mind how much money we're talking about.
Yeah.
Billions and billions of dollars of U.S. taxpayer money laundered through shell corporations and nonprofits in Ukraine. And it doesn't stop there. Human trafficking, drugs,
That's the
weapons,
big one. Yeah.
bribery. Unbelievable how much money has been going through Ukraine. And it's been going through there for about 40 years.
And the biological labs too.
Yeah, and the biolabs. This
Yeah.
is huge money. We're talking about global politics on a scale that a science fiction writer, his fingers would go numb writing about it. It is unbelievable how big this is. And it's all financed by globalists and the World Economic Forum, World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund. And they make it out to be like the Ukrainians are fighting back against the Russians. That's not true.
Mhm.
They are Ukrainians, but they're Ukrainian Nazis. And Al-Qaeda and ISIS, foreign fighters that are brought in by, I know everybody says NATO, but if you listen to our programs, you'll understand there really ain't no NATO, okay? There's no North American Treaty Organization. It's called a Pan-American Army,
Mhm.
okay? Or a Pan-European Army. I'm sorry, Pan-European Army. It is basically an army that has been forcefully conquering countries since the days of Bush Jr., Libya,
Mhm.
Chechnya, all these places were conquered by this pan-European army. And I don't mean they were conquered, occupied, renamed, everything. Kosovo, all that was done by the pan-European army. It's not NATO. It's a conquering force. It's the same kind of imperial forces that have always acted in Europe. They're just now Nazis instead of good guys. I just want your listeners to put their glasses on just for a moment. Just cover your eyes just for a moment and listen to me. America has never, ever, ever in history ever fought Russians, ever. For 300 years, Russians have fought on the same side as America. America wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for Russians. Russians have always been on the side of America in every single war, always. The only time we were against Russians is when they were Soviets, and it was during the Cold War, after
yeah.
World War II. But we never actually went to war with them. Russians have always been our allies.
That is so true, but you just wouldn't ever think about that because you just assume we've probably at some point.
You know who we have fought? British,
Mhm.
Mexicans, Spanish, French. We fought all them. We fought China. We fought
Japanese.
Japanese. We fought Korea. But we never fought Russia.
Wow.
Russia's always fought on our side. And we go to space with Russia. We go to the bottom of the sea with Russia.
How do you think that's going to happen? You know, like with the International Space Station, are they just going to
Big deal.
detach their section, or?
It's a big deal. I'm telling you this. There's a lot of space programs that are joint between
Right.
Russians and
UEO.
Americans. If you go to the Middle East, go to the Aswan Dam. Go to Egypt. Walk onto the Aswan Dam. You know what's there?
What?
A big 100-foot high monument to Russia, because Russia built the Aswan Dam for Egypt.
Wow.
Russia has been a huge influencer in the Middle East. Did they occupy Egypt? No. Did they occupy Syria? No. Did they occupy Libya, Iran, Iraq? No. Animals. What's happening in Ukraine right now is the Nazis are surrounded in the eastern area known as Donbass, and they are slowly constricting it down. Now, these Nazis are very skilled at using civilians as shields, and the Russians are trying to get them out of the area, get them out of the way, so they can go in and finish off these Nazis. Even when Russian soldiers come up against civilians, they're retreating. They're not shooting them. They're marching the other way. They're backing off. Now, it makes it look like they're scared of the civilians. They're not. They're professionals. They're ordered not to hurt civilians.
Right.
And none have been shot. There's been collateral damage, but that's because the Nazis are killing people on their way out. In fact, the Nazis have been shelling Ukraine for 8 years. 8 years. We use what's called a 105 howitzer, right? 105 millimeters. The Nazis are using a 60 millimeter. It's called a silent mortar. That's against the Geneva Convention. You're not supposed to use them, but those shells are all over the place in Ukraine where they've been using them.
And now this could be the news, but there was also mention that they're using the cluster bombs.
Yes,
that are supposedly against the Geneva Convention as well.
The Geneva Convention. The Nazis have been using them for 8 years there. 8 years.
You know, they're doing the Nuremberg 2.0. You know how
the rumor.
Well, I've seen videos of people talking about, or people that were part of the team. But do you think that we're going to get to see that again, like they did with the Nazis?
What it boils down to is one word: authority. Only a few people in the world have the authority to pull that off. Unfortunately, most of them work for the global syndicate. So they're going to cover their bases. Let me give you a case in point. If you, like in our country, we use what's called the Department of Justice. I know you may never have heard of it before, but it is largely a political body that works for the executive. So if the executive is in on something, that is to say, if he or she is complicit or bought out or compromised somehow, the Department of Justice is largely a defense department. It doesn't actually do anything. That's why the special prosecutor, special counsel, which is Robert Durham, that's why he's so critical, because he was put in place during the Trump administration. Biden's been trying to cut off his funds, but he can't, because it was all put in place under Trump. That's why Durham is slowly making his mark. And each time he puts forth an indictment, he names 20 other people that he's going after. And when he gets them, they're not getting loose. But then again, who has the authority to prosecute? Who has the authority to have the trial, do the conviction, sentence, and do the execution? The globalists are in charge of that. And it doesn't look good. We're going to have a major shift in Congress and the Senate in order to make that happen. And a lot of people are hanging their hopes on 2022. But I can tell you right now, if what went on in 2020 and what went on in 2018 happens in 2022, we're not going to take it back over. They're going to keep everything. In fact, they'll probably gain seats. They do not lose. They don't like losing, and it doesn't matter what they do anymore because they have Ballots R Us working for them, and they don't care if they get caught. Right. They don't care if they use fake ballots. They don't care if they use internet-connected voting machines. It doesn't matter. Nobody can stop them because they won. They won. It's sort of like you and I get in shape, which that's kind of laughable, but you and I get in shape and we decide to go run the Boston Marathon, and we go run our asses off and we finish. But when we get there, we see the winners are sitting there having Mai Tais, and they've been there for hours because they took the bus.
Yeah.
They won. There's nothing we can do. But yeah, they got on the bus. They cheated. But the people that organized it said, well, they crossed the finish line first, so they win. And you're protesting, say, but they got on the bus back at 62nd Street, and rode the last 8 miles.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. They won. That's what the 2020 election was. And the people that know it, the people that saw it, they're in jail in a 19th century dungeon in DC being tortured to death every single day. I can tell you that's where the leaders are right now. Leaders are born sometimes. Leaders are trained and educated sometimes. But most of the time, leaders are forged.
Yeah, on fire.
And they're being forged right now in that dungeon in DC. About 500 plus of them.
Can we talk about that for a minute? Because a lot of people aren't even aware that people are still being held without trial or charges or anything. I mean, they are being held as slaves.
No charges, no bail, no counsel, no family visits, no doctors. And we've already lost 6. 6 of them have died. Wow. Some of them of their injuries and some of them of untreated illnesses. But nevertheless, 6 have died. And every single one of them were patriots. So right now there's over 500 of them in a prison in DC. And if they could have more, they would have more. The one they really want is Donald Trump. But this committee is totally corrupt, totally political, and they have the authority. That's the word again. They have the authority. And until that authority is taken away from Liz Cheney and her henchmen, those people are going to remain in prison. And it's a terrible, terrible crime against humanity.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about the whole thing with the children that are being said to be killed? Do you think that's manufactured, or do you think that's actually happening by these Nazis?
It's their favorite thing. These people are so heartless. They're so ruthless that they would shoot the children themselves. In fact, what they do is they will keep attacking the Russians and make them shoot back. Now, they're under orders not to use long-range weaponry because of the collateral damage. But what the Ukrainians will do, what these Ukrainian Nazis will do, is they will set up the cameras and they will shoot themselves into the crowd, and then they'll put out the videos. This is what the Russians did. You've seen videos of Ukrainians joyriding around in a tank, right?
Right. Yeah, I've seen
those. That's a Ukrainian tank. It's not even a Russian tank. It's a Ukrainian tank.
Wag the dog.
Yeah, there's a lot of fakery going on.
Wag the dog.
All in the next 2 or 3 weeks, it's all going to come out in the wash. Putin's going to be finished, just like he did in Kazakhstan. When Tokarev called him up and said, hey, we got some CIA MI6 types here. There's about 4,000 of them. They're trying to take over our government. And he called up the CSTO. These are treaty organization troops that Russia has. Very good troops. Flew them down. They dropped in, took care of business. In about 6 days, it was done. They arrested 4,000 of those troops. Wow. They arrested the Minister of Defense of Kazakhstan, and then they left. They returned everything back to the people of Kazakhstan. My friends live in Almaty, and they gave me an update by text.
Wow.
So forget about what you heard on the news. What I'm telling you is exactly, truthfully, what happened.
Yeah, because I'm watching like these feeds that show like 9-11 live webcams around Kiev, and I've had it on my screen for a couple of days. It's business as usual. They had a little snow yesterday, like we did.
People are obeying traffic laws, and
sweeping
window
the
washers
curbs
are out. And I have 2 guys that walk around Kiev with their cell phones, and they send me videos.
Yeah.
One guy was walking in Kiev. They plant orange trees along the streets. Fresh oranges growing. It's sitting there under the tree. Beautiful oranges. It's amazing. Totally peaceful. Not trash in the streets. Nothing. People on scooters with their helmets and books and all that. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. It's all in Donbass and these 13 biolabs and actually 2 nuclear reactors, one at Chernobyl, and one is the largest producer of electricity in Europe, actually, and it is now under Russian control. The reason it's under Russian control is because, and this is according to my friend in the Donbass Defenders, he said they're racing to these nuclear power plants, and there's one chemical plant, because they were afraid the Nazis were going to rig them to explode. And it would have been a horrible humanitarian crisis if that happened.
Yeah.
So the Russians secured those right away.
Wow. Some of the people in the chat room are going, put this on the Patreon. This is on YouTube. So imagine what will be put on Patreon.
Yeah, well, you have to listen to America Free Radio to get these live feeds. That's on every Wednesday and Sunday night. And I started about 2 Sundays ago. And man, I have gotten just tons of positive feedback from that, because now they see. Now they got the glasses on. They can see what's going on. And it's so funny. Even MSNBC, one of the reporterettes, got on and said, I reported this and I reported that. And I got to tell you, I was wrong. All this is fake. This is from China. This picture of Zelensky running around in his armor with his helmet on, getting all the hero talk. That was from 2020 when he took a tour of the border. There was nothing going on. He just put the uniform on and took a tour of the border, and they took some pictures of him. That's what they said. Oh, he's out in the streets. No, he's not.
Yeah.
No, he's not. Zelensky is a comedian. I don't think he's a terrible bad guy, but he's a fake. His entire cabinet, all of them, are comedy writers, comedians, and producers. They're all his friends. It's a fun ride for him. He never thought Russia would attack. He's not equipped for this. He's an actor, okay? He's an actor. There's not a brave bone in his body. I don't blame the guy. I mean, gosh, you got elected. Run with it, ride with it. But don't try to be something you're not.
Yeah. All I can think of is the movie Dave.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
They brought the actor in it. Yeah. Wow. To con your way.
Except Zelensky's not a double. He's the real guy. When these guys bring in doubles, and they all have doubles, you don't let the double speak. The double,
they're just for show.
He goes from the limo to the house. He goes from the helicopter across the lawn. But you don't let the double speak. If he speaks, in 5 seconds, people will say, wait a minute, that speech doesn't line up. This guy's a fake. They'll find it in 2 seconds flat. You don't let the double speak.
Yeah. But we've seen that mistake happen multiple times behind the podium.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think about the masks and the little flaps under the ears, the different ears and all that? How many doubles do you think he has?
I think he probably has 5 or 6 doubles, because I think he ODs on Prevagen on a regular basis. He's good for about 20 minutes, and then it wears off, and then he can't finish a sentence.
What's Prevagen?
Prevagen is a drug that helps your memory.
Oh.
But it's not long lasting. You take it, it increases blood flow to the brain, and you can remember things. But once it wears off, you go right back to being, a couch.
10 second Fred.
Couch pillow. That's basically it.
Wow. Well, let's see here. It's 8:30. We still got some time.
Adderall is another drug, but it's rough on you. I doubt they're giving him Adderall every day, only under special conditions.
Well, I'm sure he gets a nice cornucopia of cocktails. Like Weekend at Bernie's. Oh my gosh. Yeah. There's just too much. You don't need comedy writers when you got them behind the podium. He does it all for himself.
Well,
So
it's like it would be like the equivalent would be if Robin Williams became elected president. He's smart. He's a good actor. He can wing it. He's good on his feet. But could he fight a war? No. He could probably do politics as well as anybody. He could read lines, of course. But he's not got a tactical mind. He's not been trained in, the responsibility of sending people to war.
to their death.
When you open up the armory and you hand out guns on the street, you make your own citizens totally untrained. If you've ever fired an AK-47, you know what I'm talking about. I found your AR-15. That's a sweet gun.
Thank you.
But an AK-47 is like a 2x4 compared to an AR-15. It is a loosey-goosey, jam-free, shoot-in-the-mud kind of gun. But it's not accurate. You'd be lucky to hit a door with it at 100 yards, let alone a person. And you put that in the hands of civilians, you make them targets. So what did they do with this gun? I've never fired this before. You sell it. That's what they did. All these guns got sold into the black market in Kiev and Ukraine. And so now you have the equivalent of downtown Chicago loaded with AK-47s. You see what I'm saying? You have criminals.
It's like they want us to thin the herd ourselves,
Yeah.
It's like what is it? The movie where everybody's dropped in the middle of the field and then they have a box opens with all these different weapons and they have to survive.
The Maze?
Maze or Hunger Games or one of those. I mean, they're all kind of similar, but that's what it feels like. The Hunt. That's what it was. The Hunt.
Yeah.
And it's scary, but it's like you're not surprised when you know all the stuff that it could get to that point. I could see it being Mad Max in the city and the Postman with
Kevin
Costner and Tom Petty in the woods.
That's right.
Yeah, great. That was a great movie. But I saw that movie and I was like, I think that's what's going to happen to me. I think I'm going to be like that.
Yeah.
And, came to the mountains and whatnot. But I don't know if I'll put on a postal outfit. Got him in a lot of trouble. So, it's getting really, really. Anyway, I'm sorry. I will digress. You continue. You have a better memory than me.
We have been trying to awaken people to the mission of the Global Syndicate for about 3 years now, really hard and heavy. And the people that get it. But here's the thing about waking up. Once you wake up, it's really hard to go back to sleep.
Yeah, you can't unsee it.
You don't want to take that blue pill again because you go, wait a minute, that's fake.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a strange thing happens to the average reality. The average reality is the sum of all of the energy of the sentient beings in reality. Okay, we have a normal distribution of consciousnesses on our planet. We have the negative ones way down here in the tail. We have the positive ones way up here in the tail, but the average is pretty stable, right? I mean, we can move the average a little bit when we get really dynamic people or a really great song or a unbelievable movie like Avatar or something. You can move the average a little bit.
Yeah.
But it really takes, in sales, it really takes about 2, 5, maybe 6% of the people to actually get something before the average really shifts. And we're not really sure how that phenomenon ends or how it begins, except that without exception, in all of history, it starts with a very small group, 4, 5, 6 people. It doesn't start with a mass. It starts with a little tiny group, a Doc, a Brooks, an Paula, a Brad Olson, little Laura Eisenhower, little groups that get more people and more people and more people. And before you get to a certain point and the global syndicate loses it and they never get it back. The future is ours, not theirs. And we're going to claim it very soon, maybe tomorrow. That's how close we are to making this happen. Wow. So don't lose hope.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning at the beginning of the show. We can't lose it yet at all. That's what's got to keep us going.
Well, one thing we can't do, and we have done it so many times, we cannot abdicate our own care and feeding to someone else. Okay? There's not going to be a Wonder Woman. There's not going to be a Captain America or Iron Man. They're not coming. No, right. God is not coming. You better hope he doesn't come. Because if he comes, he's going to come judging, not saving. And we're in big trouble if he comes.
Yeah.
This is going to be handled by us. Maybe 18 wheels at a time, like it is in Canada, like it is in DC right now, and maybe from the Midwest on east. But it's going to be handled by us.
Yeah.
We have the biggest, most well-armed army in the history of the world right here in the United States.
That we do.
I'm not saying it can be done by force, but they can't force us to do a damn thing.
Right. And speaking of them, the other day, some New York politicians were holding a 4-day gun drive to... I know, right? Hear me out. This is no shit. This is real. You can look it up, dude. It's fucking hilarious. So they did a 4-day gun drive where you could donate your legal firearms, especially AR-15s and long rifles, that would be sent to the Ukrainians to fight the Russians. But in the bottom of near the end of the story, the guy's like, we don't know exactly how we're going to get them there yet, but we're going to try our best.
So how many wheelbarrows of weapons did we collect?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to know, because I'm just, oh my God. So I saw that. I was like, I got to do a podcast on that. That's just too, like I said, they're just so sloppy. They're not even dastardly anymore. It's just like,
yeah,
they have run out of kaput. And it's just sloppy. So yeah, that went on, and that blew up on my TikTok. It was just, everybody was pissed and laughing at the same time. But yeah, do you think we're gonna get a shot heard around the world again?
You mean here in the United States?
Yes, sir.
I doubt very seriously that federal troops will be marshaled against Americans. I don't think the military will take that order.
What about the blue helmets that just took up?
I hope so. Gosh, I have a place right back here on my
for a helmet.
Yeah, I want one of those blue helmets.
Yeah, they are.
I don't mind if it has a couple bullet holes in it, even if a couple of them are mine. But I would like to have one of those blue helmets. Yeah, I dare them. Now I know they brought UN into Canada.
Well, no, they gave him the base. Biden gave him the base in Virginia. They have the entire base.
Lovely.
Yeah, that was about 6 months ago. And
yeah,
I heard that. I'm like, oh my God. And then they also did it in Utah. They took over a government building. Somebody was in the building, a local. They videotaped it. Oh, you did see that. And she's like, no, it's UN property now. We took it over today. It was like, Jesus. So yeah, it's a Trojan horse. And then of course, we have all these other countries that, own so much of us. But
yeah, well, there's that. There's we've been put into debt. One of the things people don't realize is U.S. government owns about 70% of the land west of the Mississippi. Some states they own 85% of, like Utah and Wyoming. The federal government owns a tremendous amount of land, but it's not just the desert. It's the mines, it's the forests, it's the lakes, even the underwater aquifers. By the way, the man that secured all those for the Department of the Interior with the power of the EPA was a man named William Ruckelshaus. You ever hear his name?
No.
Yeah, see, nobody knows this guy.
Do tell.
Goes all the way back to the days of Nixon. Because you know what Nixon did? Nixon created the EPA. the Environmental Protection Agency. And guess who was the first head of the EPA? William Ruckelshaus. Yes, and when William Ruckelshaus got so far, he got so much power and everything put together and everything was running good, then he became the Attorney General.
Well,
and
then
then
nice.
Nixon ordered him to stand down the investigation into his people that broke into the Democrat Party. And William Ruckelshaus resigned. Yep, he resigned. But then he
Wow.
came back during Reagan's administration. It came back during Carter, Reagan, served under Bush, and served under Clinton. And during these reigns, each time he was given more and more power in the government. And he started a company, which if I tell you the name of it, it's going to put it all pieces together for you now. And this company took over vast territories of organized crime. I'm talking mafia organized crime. Okay. That's how powerful this guy became.
Wow.
He secured control over all the aquifers of the West, all the underwater water. That's why if you drill down and hit water to water your almond trees, you're paying his company.
Wow.
The company that he started in Texas was a little company called BFI. BFI is in the trash business.
Yep.
And BFI bought out Waste Management.
Yeah.
So if you have your trash can emptied anywhere, coast to coast, border to border, William Ruckelshaus's company, BFI, gets a cut. That's
Wow.
how powerful this guy was. He was the main mafia boss for trash collection in the entire country.
I actually tried to apply to be a trash man because they were getting paid over $100,000 a year, and there was a waiting list.
Yep.
I thought it'd be an easy job. Anyway.
And when you retire, not only do you get your full pension, you also get full disability, automatic, same as a firefighter.
What?
So it's huge retirement. Unbelievable. Nobody wants to do the trash, but the mafia has controlled trash collection for a long, long time in this country, maybe 40 years. You don't see any startup trash collectors.
No, you don't actually. It's all Waste Management across the board.
All the land,
and then
all
here,
the recycling, everything's owned by one company.
Yeah, down in the valley, they hold huge golf tournaments and stuff, horse racing. That's just Waste Management, and they put on these big things. I mean, yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
It's huge.
So during Obama's presidency, while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, all those assets, all the forests, all the deserts that had stuff like uranium and lead and all the coal, all this stuff was put up as collateral to borrow money against from China to feed their spending frenzy. And believe me, it was unbelievable. Hundreds of billions of dollars got laundered through Ukraine and made these people rich like you cannot believe.
Because you see the Ukraine. It's not like Afghanistan or rubble or anything. It's beautiful there.
Yeah. And these are smart, hardworking people too. But see, when the Soviet Union broke up, all the little states, like Kazakhstan's not little, but Kazakhstan and Estonia and Latvia and Moldova and Belarus, all these countries had assets. And in order to develop those assets, they needed money. A lot of them went to the transatlantic banks, like the World Bank and the World Economic Forum, and even BRICS, and got money to develop their assets. Kazakhstan went to the New York Stock Exchange, raised $500 million in the New York markets. But Ukraine couldn't do that. Ukraine was somehow blocked from being able to develop their assets because when the Soviet Union broke apart, most of the bureaucratic leadership, it would be like our agencies, departments, bureaus, and administrations being broken apart. You'd have 2 million employees dumped on the market overnight. But all the cabinet secretaries, it would be like all the cabinet secretaries saying, well, I'll take this asset and that asset and this asset. How much you want for it? Oh, $100,000, no problem. So you buy $100 million worth of assets for $100,000. That's what
Wow.
the oligarchs did. And those are the people that set up these shell corporations like Burisma and other nonprofits so that the U.S. and European politicians could launder their money through there. And what I mean by laundering, it's sort of like if you're in the drug business and you're selling drugs on the street, and let's say your drug cost a crisp $100 bill. Well, in no time, you have a pallet of $100 bills. What are you going to do with it? You're going to take it to the bank and put it in your account, right?
Mm-hmm.
The bank's going to say, look, this pallet of $100 bills is not exactly kosher, but listen, we'll take it. We'll take it. But it's going to cost you 20%.
Hmm.
We take 20% off the top and you can have the rest. We get 20%, you get 80%. The drug dealer is going to say, that's a deal. No problem there. Well, when you're talking about $300 billion in cash, do the math. That's $60 billion of money nobody knows exists. It's not supposed to exist. How do you get rid of it? How do you launder? How do you get it out of the bank where it's clean? You create tens of thousands of fake bank accounts and you dump the money into these little accounts. They're called ghost accounts or shell accounts. And then these accounts make purchases. The money goes out of the accounts. And where does it go? It goes to companies in Romania and Ukraine. And the money goes for nothing. It just sits there in the bank. And then that's how the politicians make their money. That's how they pay for their campaigns. That's how they pay for their islands and their jets. Do you honestly think that Nancy Pelosi saved up her money from her congressional salary to make herself that rich? Or Dianne Feinstein? She's the richest person in Congress.
Yeah, no.
I consider Congress and the Senate one body now, but you think they made their money that way? No. You think they made their money in insider trading? Maybe a little.
Yeah.
Most of it is illegal laundering. Child trafficking. You think those cartels operate along the border without express permission from the politicians? Of course not. They're not going to let that happen without them getting a piece of the action. It's an unbelievable amount of cash. When you look at, like, say, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she was a barmaid and she couldn't even afford an apartment in Washington when she was elected. Look at her now, 3 years later. She's worth millions. She dresses in $20,000 outfits, flies anywhere she wants to fly, lives in a 10,000 square foot pad. Her boyfriend launders money like it's going out of style. That's how they do it. We, the people, are sick of it. By the way, day before yesterday, Virginia became the 18th state to sign and pass the Convention of States resolution. 22 states, it has passed one house. It needs to pass the other house. If we added 22 states to the Convention of States, that would make 40 states.
Wait, I'm confused. 40 states.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Convention of States is in Article 5 of the Constitution.
Okay.
It was put there by the Founding Fathers in 1787, right before the convention closed, because they realized we're going to create this amazing, very powerful central government. And look, we already played that band. You know, we've been there. We need to put a safety valve in here. We need to put a case of emergency break glass clause here. So Article 5 says that if the federal government gets too big, too powerful, too oppressive, it begins to treat the states like
The
it
children.
owns them.
Yeah.
Gee, like now. The states, 2/3 of the states can come together and say, we are exercising Article 5 in the Constitution that allows us to hold a convention and amend the Constitution. Now, the resolution, this is kind of unique in that not like Congress doing it, but the states doing it, they have to have the amendments in the resolution. So they all have to sign on to it. Not the exact wording, but the general amendments. So there are 4 amendments. Move my hand over here. 4 amendments in the resolution.
Mhm.
The first one, 67% of the delegates, and we have delegates in all 50 states now. The first one is term limits for Congress and the Senate. 67% of the delegates agree on that. There's a little bit of wiggle room in the actual wording, but it's going to be very short and sweet and basically say you run 3 terms and you're out or something like that. The second one is, I'll put this one second, even though it's not second. It's to define the Commerce Clause. The Commerce Clause in the Constitution is about 13 words. The issue with the Commerce Clause is it's ambiguous. And when you're writing law, you really can't be ambiguous, or else people will take license with it. And that's what happened. Roosevelt became president in 1930. And by 1933, he had firmly established a fascist government in Washington. He loved fascism. He adored it. It was his favorite form of government. So by 1933, he began setting up agencies, departments, bureaus, and administrations. By 1935, he needed a top-notch federal police force that was made up of bad guys. I mean, bad guys that were going after bad guys. So he formed the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, in 1935. And its charter was, you defend the interests of the Democrat Party. That's it. Forget about the Constitution. Forget about law. You defend the Democrat Party. That was their charter. And they've been doing that ever since.
Wow.
They were founded in corruption, and they're corrupt to this very day. The CIA didn't even exist till after World War II. That's when the Cold War started, and we needed some kind of secret police
thing,
outside the country. But now we've got 650 of those agencies, departments, bureaus, and administrations, and they write all our laws. They assess all our taxes and fees and fines and take police actions against us, except we, the people, have no representation in that government, and that is tyranny.
Yeah.
So the Commerce Clause needs to be defined, and all the federal authority of these alphabet soup, agencies goes away. No more federal authority. You do not serve under the executive branch anymore. It all has to be run by the states because that's the way the Constitution is written. The third one is to repeal the 16th Amendment, which is the income tax. That will go away. The whole structure will go away. The whole waiving your Fifth Amendment rights by signing your 1040 goes away. The government has no right to know what you earn. No right whatsoever. You don't need to tell anybody what you make. But when you spend the money, that's when you're going to pay the tax. That's called a federal sales tax, and that's already in the Constitution. It's just that the 16th Amendment overshadows it. So we're repealing that altogether. And the fourth one is probably the most important one. It's now today more important than the other 3. And that is this: line item veto for the executive. When the country was first founded, one bill was for one law, and the president could veto it.
Right.
Congress worked on it. It was handed off to the Senate. The Senate would massage it a little bit, sign it, would go on to the president. The president would sign it or not sign it. We lost that. The president lost that ability with the creation of one bill, 2,000 laws.
Wow.
You see?
Yeah.
The president would say, well, look, I got to have an army and it's in dilapidated. I need bridges and I need, some social reforms. So Congress says, fine, you can have those 3 things as long as we get these 700 things. So the president says, well, I don't want those 700 things. And I said, oh, fine, let your people starve. We don't care. Shut down Social Security, shut down government. We'll go right to the news meeting and say, see, the president just shut the government down. The president loses every single time. That's why we need line item veto, because the president has the power to veto. That's paramount in the Constitution. But he lost that ability in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. It's ridiculous now. Ridiculous, these trillion-dollar omnibus bills. The president needs this. He needs a Sharpie where he can go, nope, 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 nope. And he can take that 2,500 bills and pare it down to 35.
Right.
Now, Congress will be pissed, to be sure. But that's the president's responsibility. It's his right and it's his power. Now, if we don't like what he vetoed, then kick his butt out in 4 years and replace him.
Mhm.
But that's his right. And that will save the country overnight. Those 4 amendments. Now, once those pass and they're all the wording and everything's agreed on, and those 2/3 of the states say, that's it. Those are the 4 amendments. We agree. All those in favor say aye. Now it goes out to 3/4 of the states. 38 states have to ratify that for it to become law. But if we already have 40 states,
We're
it's
good to go.
a done deal.
Okay.
And that's what they're afraid of.
And see, I had that you just every time you're on my show, you blow my mind. I mean, I've actually brought up your Garden of Eden story that you told me on the last show.
Yeah.
And I gave you full credit for it. I was like, hey, this is from Brooks Agnew, but this is how the blood works, man. It's all about the blood. And I blew some people's minds on iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Well, look, we're coming up at the top of the hour, and this is the second hour for me. What I'm trying to do is just do an hour, but I guess I got a time change thing. And the second hour would be on Patreon. Now, are you up for that tonight, or would you like to do that next time? Because I know it's getting late where you're at.
Well, it's 11 o'clock at night, but I'm totally up for it.
Let's hold off until next one, and I'll do a little something for the people at Patreon.
Yeah, okay.
Because there we won't be as censored, and I'll just take the leash off you, and see how far we can ride that edge.
Well, I was pretty wide open tonight, so
yeah, that's why I'm really like, we can hold off on the Patreon. And I know some people just joined, and believe me, you're gonna get some cool stuff and great content. It's just this is the first night back with that, and yeah.
Well, people that know me know that I don't do politics. I don't care, Democrat, Republican. I can give a rat's ass.
Mm-hmm.
There's an establishment party and there's patriots. Those are the 2 parties as far as I'm concerned. But I don't really even get into that. All we've talked about tonight is government. That's real. That affects everybody. It affects your gas tank right now, today.
Yeah. And that is a true bona fide fact as of today. Yes. So at least everybody's waking up to it today.
Your gas tank's going to affect the price of cabbage and the price of puppies and everything else.
Yeah. And everything else that's made from petroleum products. I mean, plastics and golf balls and just all kinds of random stuff. And people think when you cut that off.
I have a convention I'm supposed to go to in July, and it's up to about $3,200 now because the plane fare has gone up, hotels have gone up, rental cars are $110 a day, and that's before gas. Yeah. $110 a day. I've never paid that much in my life for a rental car, ever.
Wow. Well, let's do that. I'm gonna get this Patreon thing figured out tonight because I just started it this afternoon, so I didn't get to play with it and figure it out fully yet. And I don't know how doing a live stream would work on there yet, so I've got to play with the buttons tonight.
Okay.
We'll get it tomorrow, but next time I have you on, which I'm gonna have you on regularly. Oh, you want to do a real quick? Anything new, exciting that's about to happen that you want to share?
Well, yeah, you and I have worked on this Birth Trilogy to TV series project now for going on 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, these steps need to be taken slowly because unless you have a lot of money, first you write the scripts, then you go to some script writing contests and some table reads and actors read them and you refine everything and get it to a certain point. Then you need to make a choice. I'm either going to make a big screen movie out of this thing, which forget about it. It's who wants to wait 10 years to go to screen, or you do a TV series. And as luck would have it, Hulu and Amazon and Netflix and all the other little networks that play on Roku, they're all looking for content.
Yes.
So Doc and I have been working together for almost 2 years now to get this ready to go to TV. Now we haven't, shot all the stuff, but
No.
what we've done is created some teasers and some pitch lines, and I've learned
Sizzle
a lot
reels,
from
yeah.
Doc already. And I just retained a entertainment attorney. So we are now making the moves toward the networks to get that meeting.
Fingers crossed. Yes.
Absolutely. We got the book. We got the storyline. We got the fan base.
It's a bestseller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All 3 books are bestsellers.
Mhm.
But now people have heard the story, and it's a good time for the story to come out. This end of the world kind of end times, deep spiritual, high science fiction thriller. It's time for it to come out.
It's and I think
I'm
this
excited
is the
about
year. So, well, cool. All right. So then, since you kind of let the leash off tonight, which is cool. We'll do the Patreon next time. We'll do Patreon tomorrow night. Everybody that's watching. So that you just signed up today before the show started. I appreciate it. You'll get something tomorrow. And that will be the norm. So it'll be an hour on YouTube and Facebook, and maybe a couple other platforms. Like you're on how many platforms? 20?
No, I'm on 9 video platforms and 2
wow.
audio platforms. So I go
Okay,
out
so
to
11,
TalkStream Live, but also Rockfin and Rumble and Twitch and Facebook and Twitter and DLive and let's see, YouTube, of course. Of course, we censor YouTube the second hour because we get into too deep of stuff, and we don't like to be censored on YouTube, so we censor them. And then that goes out from there. So we're on virtually all the platforms: BitChute, Odyssey. It's we simulcast everything.
And your website that has all this information.
All the information's on brooksagnew.com. So if you go to brooksagnew.com, you can connect to all this stuff. Not only that, but if you buy my books, the audiobooks are a free gift to you. So if you're not a good reader, don't worry about it. I read it for you.
And he's a good reader.
And if you need Ivan and Roxy, and you know what I'm talking about, you can get those without a prescription at my store.
Awesome. Yes, I'm going to have to pay that a visit too. So Brooks, always a pleasure having you. And next time, maybe we'll do an update on expeditions.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Good
I
stuff.
had a gentleman named Eric who actually spent some time in Antarctica, and might bring him on. So, all right, well, cool. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me for this 2 hours. And Brooks, always a pleasure, and we'll have him on again. I guarantee. So remember, folks, everything is crazy around us right now, but just take a breath, find something funny to laugh at once in a while, get into a movie, clean that palate. It doesn't have to be doom and gloom all the time. And as long as we all lift each other up, we will all rise together. I'm Doc Skinner, and this is the Dark Force. I was saying earlier before you came on that, it's the Doc Force, but if you're on the East Coast, it's the Dark Force. So, it's a big difference.
Anyway, the Schwartz be with you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Brooks. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And I'll give you a little call in just a minute. Okay, Brooks?
All right.
All right. Good night, everybody. Doc Skinner. Until tomorrow. I'll see you then. Ciao, bella. Oh, it's always the double buttons every time.